What is up, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, day traders, club swing traders. Hope you guys are doing absolutely fantastic. We got Bill in the house, bright and early. Good morning to Brad. Good morning, Brad. Good morning to Cheryl. Good morning to Donna, GW, Jennifer, Lauren. We got Marius. Good morning to Micah, Shane, Tim, all my people out in YouTube land. Leonard. Good morning, Clarice. Maury Mars in the house. Good morning to Santilla. Santilla's already thrown out. Good morning. Pullback spy puts. All right, we'll see. But so far, yeah, if you got those yesterday, you're up a little bit at the open, but we do have SPY dropping a little bit. Yesterday was another down day. We're still in this no man's land, just kind of waiting. Today, not a lot on the calendar. I think we have consumer confidence at 10 a.m. So maybe we get some kind of reaction there, but honestly, I don't think I think we probably maybe get a little move off of it. I'm not even sure that that happens, but whatever happens from that, I think we just kind of small move, retrace back, and then just kind of continue what we were doing before. So I don't think it's going to be too much of an impact as far as consumer confidence goes, but obviously we're just kind of waiting. We got to wait all of today, all of tomorrow until the bell rings and we get the Nvidia earnings to kind of kick off or jumpstart this market one direction or the other. That would be the big earnings for this week. And then PCE on Friday. We have PCE on Friday. So I think that is actually going to weigh a little bit more into the market too. So week's not done yet, but we're getting there. We're getting there. So we just got some patience, which is really hard, really, really tough. But can survive the next 2 days, 48 hours. We should see some more movement start to pile into the markets. For now, though, Santilla wants to go with puts. I don't disagree. No, but this is a retest gap. Uh, how much of a retest we get, I'm not sure. This is not a great location that we're opening. We got 559.18 is my first resistance, so we'll see if we can get somewhere above that zone prior. Otherwise, it's a retest gap, but so was this one. We are opening below the open of Friday, so that's not great. Saving grace for the Bulls, we're still inside this big bearish engulfing candle, so we haven't really. I don't think we have much of the market panicking in either direction, but we are having a little bit of selling prior to the bell at least. So maybe just some cautious bulls, maybe some starting to get eager bears, so, aka Santilla. We'll see, but just kind of chopping for now. I think we do have a little bit of an edge to the bear side for today. Let's see if we get maybe some early morning rally and just kind of chop around ahead of the Nvidia earnings. Obviously, Q is going to get a little more affected by Nvidia. That's really not a good open for the Qs. Obviously, still a retest gap. So let's see if we could get any kind of buying that comes in. We might have already just had a pre-market 474.26. Let's see. Where did we get to? 424. Wait, hold on. What I say? Not 424. 474.26. That's what I was going for. 474.26. Which is all the way down here. So we didn't really retest that yet, I guess. But I think I'd be looking for a spot to go short. Qs does have a little bit of a runway down, so we got Qs to maybe like 469.76, so about $3 and change to the downside. As the first probably support, that would also take us into the 20 EMA on the daily. And then if we could break through that, we got 476.26. We still have this little gap open here as well. So I think a little healthy pullback into that would be decent as well. So we'll see. But we have a little bit of room to the downside. Kind of thinking bearish. Not sure if I want to be the first one to jump in the bear direction. Maybe we can get some buying first. But we'll see. Yep. If you guys got tickers, let me know. Type those into the chat. We'll pull those up. Baba. Was there news today? Fed cut could lift Chinese stocks. Here's who could benefit. It's not directly related to it. What's going on with Baba? That was yesterday. They were down yesterday based off of, I think, reaction to PDD, Pinduoduo. with some not great outlooks. I don't think Timu and Baba are the same. I think they're very different. JD had they just put out a buyback, so I think JD was gapping up before. I don't know if it's still holding, but I don't see any direct news on Baba except for this JD. So I think Baba could be a little sympathy play to it. JD is opening into a little bit of resistance up here. Probably next target a little bit higher would be 2683. Also a little bit of a retest gap, and you're kind of opening into that resistance. So this one could fade, and if it does, I'd be a little concerned about Baba, although it looks like a pretty good gap. Pretty good gap. The next target, though, to me is about 8290. My concern would be if this is a reaction to if this is some type of reaction to from JD and JD starts to fade. I'm not sure if Baba holds up, but I would look for support somewhere around 8196. See if we can get any kind of bounce off of that. Otherwise, I think if you take this trade in a bull direction, you have to have some kind of thought processes 8290 can break, and then maybe you're shooting for like 8348 for a kind of a bigger target. But lots of volume that came in yesterday. Again, more so reaction off of PDD. But a nice little gap down. It is off the 20. That is a good high wave doji candle. It is red, so you're trapping some bears on this one. So I would like it to the bullish direction. I just don't know how far it goes. We'll put that a little higher on the list. Scoot that one up. Bill says Amazon. So this one I did look at pre-market. Looks a little bit to the short side. I don't have much in the way. Again, it is a retest gap, so maybe we could, maybe. I don't know if we do, but maybe we get bought up to like this 175.53 zone. Otherwise, we're starting to open right underneath the open of this candle from August 15th, which was a nice little gap up. We do have this wide open gap here, 172.14. I think this could come a little bit lower. I don't really have anything until 170 flat, except for that 200 that might be a little bit higher than that. So maybe even target down to that 200, but I like this one to the short side if we can figure out how to get into it. I'm hoping the market doesn't open and then Amazon just drops. That's what I'm kind of hoping does not happen. I don't know. Arm to the short side. Lurkian says, Happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday to you too. Santilla says 553 puts. 563, not 553. All right. All right. Yeah. The real question is, Santilla, are you holding that past Nvidia earnings? When are you letting us go? How lucky are you feeling? We got uh arm to the short side. So out of this bigger move here, this is our 618. Somewhere around, what is that, 125.22. I got the 50% retracement, which we just perfectly used as resistance up here. So the question on this one, I guess, would be, are we going to break down? We definitely did it the first time. I don't really have any. I got two levels of support that we could get kind of hung up on. This is also a retest gap. It's going to make today a little tricky, I think. But because all of this looks bad. None of this looks good. I like it to the short side. Otherwise, the first support that we get is 126.03. Then we're going to be taken right into that 125. What was it, 22, something like that, for the 618. Then we have 124.46. The problem is we just cut right through that 618 like it wasn't even there. So I don't know how strong that 618 zone is. I actually do have one VPOC right there too. I don't love the area that we're shorting it in. I'd almost want to see it break down to 618, come back, retest that, use that as resistance, and come down. But we are breaking through a pretty hefty support. I almost think this one I'd want to wait to see if I can get a full retest on just to give myself a little bit better risk reward. See if we get that bounce into like this 1 in 2887. but I do like that one short too. I don't know how easy it's going to be for us to hit targets. I would actually have to probably go maybe if we could find a setup on it. Maybe I'm in there for 1.2 just because I'm nervous on the targets. Let me get Amazon a little higher there. CRM, Netflix, and Square CRM. Oh, as a swing trade, I could now readjust this one that we talked about. That would actually get my target probably into here. That's even better. Um, Potential little double top. This is a gap and go to the bear side. That's good. You got all sorts of moving averages starting to come in. I got a little support somewhere around 259.97. I got 258.70. So here's the thing with the stock market. At least for most of this week, maybe if not all of this week. Like I'm going on the first 3 days, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Looks like we faded a little bit yesterday. Maybe we faded today too. Who knows what tomorrow does? Maybe we get some kind of a continuation down or we bounce up a little bit. Not sure. But everyone's kind of making their predictions on Nvidia. Like, are we gapping up? Are we gapping down? Is it going to be crazy? What if it just does nothing? What if we get like a small move either direction and then we just kind of play it out to PCE on Friday? Um, that could be that very well could be the case. I mean, August has just been absolutely wild since the what was it, the first second day of trading in August. This is August 5th. Even on this one was yeah, August 2nd, and then Thursday started this downtrend. We down pretty massively, real quick. Came all the way back up, and having like 1 week of just resting. Even honestly, 2 weeks into September could be, but just as I put a 0.01% chance of that happening. I wouldn't be shocked. I wouldn't be shocked if Nvidia actually probably does nothing. I bet you. Um, well, the good news with the stock market is you don't have to bet me. You could just, if you're like, hey, no, this market's definitely moving after Nvidia, you could buy some calls. You could buy some puts. There will be somebody you are betting against. It just won't be me. Just won't be me. But I will tell you what I will do for the Nvidia earnings is nothing. And then after I get the numbers that come out, I could play the after hour market after I know some more information. I think that's a good strategy. I don't like where Nvidia's price is at. It's a tough location, but CRM, this one it is gapping now. You're taking out some again, but biggest problem on this one, and I like it to the short side, but biggest problem on this one is also targets for me. Unless we get a crazy selling day and we're not really lined up where there's news or anything that's really going to help us push, but I do like it to the short side. Square. Oh, let's take a look at Netflix first. NFLX. Mm-mm. Rock. Rock says if it does nothing, that's fine. Rock says I think it's a lot more likely we gap up than gap down on Nvidia earnings, so I'm betting on it. That's what the market's there for. Uh-huh. Yeah. Um, I'm not selling stuff. I'm not really panicking. I don't think many people are. We're just kind of waiting and seeing. I'm also not trying to get too aggressive and just assume we're going to break double tops of the market. So I'm not like loading the boat and just being like, okay, this is definitely breaking through. We're going higher. I and then back to your point, Rock. I think the earnings are going to be good. I don't think they're going to be bad. I don't know what the conference call is. They probably talk it up too, but is it enough to really move the market to move Nvidia up that much? Or would they just trap all calls, all puts, everybody loses, and we move on? That sounds like a traditional market. So we'll see. But we got Netflix. Do they have news today? Nice little gap up. Netflix to rally around 9%. Oh, not at 9% now, so they left a bunch on the table. Here's the top 10 analyst forecast for Tuesday. This is some wild accusations. Uh, Price target from 710 to 750. But that's not today. What are they talking about? That looks like clickbait to me. Netflix shares rose 0.3% to close at 688 on Monday. See, yeah, I don't know. That's their forecast for Tuesday, but that's not where they think it rallies today. That being said, uh, I've got some spots where we might get kind of held up a little bit. True. I think 692.12 is going to be a tough one. Yeah, probably the opening price of what was that Friday? 694.05. Otherwise, stretch targets on this one 698.47. So it's got some room. This is a little bit of a retest gap. You're technically inside from yesterday, but I don't even really care too much about that one. You're inside from here. So I would see if we get a pullback 688.84. And then I think you get better at least risk reward on the trade. But it is doing something a little bit different than the market. And that article told me they're going to rally 9% today. So who am I to disagree? Travel the world in the seven seas. Square. This one looks extremely weak. I actually like this one the most for my shorts. I like it a lot. What I like is I got my high volume zone and maybe and hopefully we get bid up. We got the 50 EMA right below us. This is a gap and go. I got my big volume zone, probably about 65.06. So the closest I can come into that for a short, the happier I can be. Um, I wouldn't even be surprised if this thing opens. If I can get a good high wave candle, I'm gonna go probably short on Square. Concerned about targets, so it might not be a huge win. Maybe looking for like 63.92. But if this is double top, lower highs, we can break down. I don't know if today's the day we do it, but if we can, longer term, I think we have a little bit of a downward move. So that's not bad. SMCI. SMCI. 24,000 in volume. $50 candle came in on. Yeah, is this to the downside though? Uh, go long. Not financial advice. You have a really good support down here. This is a big major move. Is there news on this one? And I'm not a huge fan at this price of SMCI. But for a day trade, I think I'd have to actually consider this one long. In risk reward scenario, declined by 0.5% hours following a 8.3. Yeah, so they had a big move down. I don't really see news, just that's a big move we had yesterday. Another big drop, good volume there yesterday. So there are some shorts profitable. We're opening right into some kind of support. I don't know where this one goes to. We could get easily held up at 517. That's still about $11 to the high side. Otherwise, I think my stretch target today would not be the close or the VPOC from yesterday, but I think maybe we get some kind of a rally into 544.72, and I probably would like to be out before that one. So that looks like a decent play the fade, unless this thing is opening anywhere under, which we're close, but anywhere under 507, I probably wouldn't want to play that fade. I would just let it do its thing, see if we can get back up into that zone, and then try to play it again above 507. Can't find any news reason for this drop at 9:15. Nvidia is a little bit weak today, so I think there's maybe some sympathy in that, but Let me just actually go to a smaller time frame. Let me go to the 1 hour. Yeah, we had all the volume here. We even have a little volume spike here. So this is where we got to hang on to. Let's go to 4 hour. Let's actually go one more. Let's go to the daily. Longer term perspective. If we get one more drop from here, we don't actually hold. This is 480.81. Then I'll be looking for like a 424. I'm honestly, I'm kind of hoping this thing drops all the way down to like, I don't know, 296 would be fantastic. Unless you own this one long, then I hope it doesn't do any of that. But I don't. I don't. So the lower the better. I would not be buying puts out of the gate. I wouldn't mind considering buying puts for with some time on this one if we get anywhere close to 560 again. Palantir's gapping down, PLTR. Palantir. I know they were down yesterday, I believe, so this should be a retest gap. Yeah, a little bit of retest gap at support. I wouldn't mind looking for a fade on this one too. Fade this one higher. I think we could probably get. There's not really much to the upside holding us back, but maybe get back to like $30.91 would probably be target for today. We do have that 20 EMA holding us up. We got some VPOX right in that zone as well. So this is probably a spot I would think of some interest for some bulls. And if you were short on this one, you got one, two, three. This is your fourth day down with a gap. So I think you might have some people trying to take some profits from the bear side, which would make it kind of bounce back up. Paramount Global. This has to be news. There's gonna be a heavy news everything on this company. Is there a deal or is there no deal? Shares drop 4% after media veteran Edgar Bonfman from the Bonfman clan. I don't know how you say. I guess that's how you say his name. Dropped his group's takeover bid for the company. So okay, so then, again, no deal for what is it? Sky Dance, Dancing in the Sky. That looks pretty short to me. This one probably comes down a bit lower, I would assume. Maybe a little pop. Technically, it was a retest gap from yesterday. We did have some selling. I don't think we get too much buying on this one, but look for like 1089 and see if you could come a little bit lower. I think we get to at least 1057 on that one. But a no deal or deal being dropped, not good for Paramount until the next deal comes in, which they seems to just keep happening. All right, let me see. Lurka says, "Do you use Tenny May strategies in after hours?" I don't. I don't. Because there's a lot. I'll definitely after hours. I'm definitely focused on more so the VPOX than anything, just because there's not as much volume after hours, so it's a lot harder to catch some of those trends. You could though. So like on a day that Nvidia reports, there will be a lot of there'll be a lot of opportunities on that day, but the other problem is a lot of times too is the 10 EMA is good for when you have something like this. So even like the very beginning of, let's say the bell rings right this second, the stock, no matter what it is, does something like this, right? So there is no real 10 EMA, just kind of figuring out price. And then a little bit later in the day, so like providing that there's no gap immediately where somebody's being trapped, you'll typically have like 10 a.m., 10:30 is a good time for the 10 EMA strategy because there's more consistency and you're actually kind of building on something as opposed to just chop. If a company, it really doesn't matter what it is, but in this case, Nvidia, as soon as they report, you get the same. You're trying to figure out is this good, is this bad, and the market's trying to find that price discovery. So the 10 EMA right out of the gate doesn't work, but if you wait a little bit, you can use it. Rock says, FYI, Hindenburg Research, new from U.S. Supermicro, fresh evidence of accounting manipulation. Yeah, I can see that. I can see that. They also had some shady, couple shady deals that they did too, which I wasn't a huge fan of. Um, but it is what it is. They are at a decent buy location short term, but long term, I would love to see it come. I don't know. $200 cheaper. DraftKings, right now it's kind of just chilling. This is also a retest gap, so I don't think I'd be completely bearish right out of the gate. You could see a little bit more selling, maybe out of the gate on this one. See if it could hold like 34.61 is my next little support. Otherwise, if you could get that balance, 35.07 is your spot to kind of first look short. Maybe you get into like 35.44. I'm not sure if that happens today, but you're kind of opening right in the middle. Seems like we're getting a little buying, so more than likely you're gonna have a better opportunity to short. Question is to where. If you get held at that first spot, 34.58, you probably, or if you could break that, you probably come down to like 33.87. So we will see, but a little no man's land on that one for right now. Lulu has earnings on Thursday. So make your plays how you want to. For a day trade perspective, looks like it's still an inside candle. Maybe this thing can get bought up. The better spot to look to go short would be 272.35 if you're feeling frisky on this one. Otherwise, if this thing comes down, you're looking for some kind of support around 267.58. And I think we kind of chop in that, but no doubt about it. We've hit a decent low. We've had a pretty good rally so far. A little bit of a pullback into earnings would be, I think would make some sense. If somebody's already profitable, they might not want to hang out into this. Valuation for me is still cheap, and I kind of want it to come down so I can buy more because I'm not really fully at my position yet. So, but if it goes up from there. ASPN, I think we have enough time to cover this one. Not to be confused with ESPN. Uh, for now, nothing. It is a bull flag, pretty strong breakout. Uh, definitely potential double top. I think if this one starts to break this 32.12 zone, well, you're breaking the double top and you have more room to the higher side. This is a bull flag. However, your risk to reward right now, you could same thing. I throw a stop right at 32.19, 32.10. And then if you start breaking down, I would say Friday's green candle. That's when you want to try to get low and you have a better risk reward to the downside. Otherwise, I have no opinion specifically on the company. I don't really know too much about it. But YouTube land, the bell is about to ring. It's like it's about to happen. So make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe button. Unfortunately, I got to cut it there. You guys are awesome. Be safe in the market. We'll see. There's going to be some chop. There's still low volume markets. Don't forget the real trading season starts in about 2 weeks from now. So we got some time to chill and try to take some cautious trades. Otherwise, you guys are